like and subscribe. Former tomboys who did a 180 and became totally feminine in appearance. What caused you to make such drastic change? First, let me clarify that I'm not referring to women who were tomboy and then changed up a bit and are now somewhere in the middle of the feminine and masculine spectrum. I think that is pretty common in real life and many of my female friends are like that. I'm asking about women who went from one end of the spectrum to the opposite end, specifically in appearance. For example, someone who was a total tomboy at some point of her life, but who are now all girly and almost exclusively wears dresses and skirts. I have seen some women describe themselves as such on the internet, but I have never seen one in real life. So, if you are one of these women, what were the reasons that caused you to change so drastically? Thanks in advance for any answer. Have a nice day. I realized that I didn't really enjoy being a tomboy, but felt forced into that role because I enjoyed playing sports and there was a sexist notion around my town that women who played sports must not be very feminine at all. It was like a stereotype I could not be feminine and play 3 sports like I did. So I was about 15 when I realized this, so I started playing sports on the weekends and wore skirts to school during the week. Same, but instead of sports it was science fiction and video games. Plus I didn't have any healthy women role models. The point where I started feeling like I *COULD wear dresses because I would look like I was trying too hard is the exact point at which I started pushing myself into them. I wanted a change, but felt like other people would make too big of a deal out of it. Unfortunately, some did. I realized it was the expectation of others that was holding me back, and I am just not cool with that. Also, there is no easier outfit than a dress. I don't have to match. Just throw that bad boy on, and add a necklace and earrings. You're done. Those of you who wear skirts, bravo, you possess a skill I have not mastered in my 26 years on this earth, completing an actual outfit that does not involve jeans. Similar reasons and timing for me. In addition, I also grew up in a house that may not have been religious, but still pushed that short shorts and skirts were inappropriate and sexualized. So I had another barrier of just feeling uncomfortable in girly clothes. Same here. I grew up with mostly guy friends because I ended up liking the same things as they did and didn't enjoy what my other female peers did. I have clear memories of me being the only girl playing soccer or capture the flag with the boys on the field, while the rest of the girls sat in a line watching. Back when one birthday party meant inviting the entire class, I went to the party of one girl and she hosted a spa night. I had to leave early because the smell of nail polish made me nauseous. Anyway, all of that made me feel like I wasn't really feminine, which is a hidden way to say that I didn't really like myself. So I dressed like a boy in clothes that didn't fit well, or were boxy to hide my body. I'm 21 now, and I like myself so much better. I love wearing more feminine clothing that hug nicely and show off different parts of my body. It's a confidence boost and I can say that I've grown into the outfits. But definitely stereotypes during childhood turned me away from myself and my gender/sexuality. I also felt I was forced into a tomboy role because of my height, 6 feet, 182 centimeters, so anytime I wore or did something girly I would get bullied for it. When I was 16 I moved to Japan, where I learned how great skirts are because of the school uniform. I'm still tomboyish in the way that I'm an engineer who games, but I almost always wear dresses and skirts when going outside, because I think they look and feel better than pants. Profile checks out. Most certainly not Cinderella. Turns out, skirts are a lot more comfortable than pants. How do you avoid your thighs rubbing together? I always get chub rub when I wear a skirt or dress, and I hate it. Definitely. My work outfit almost always involves leggings and a skirt for that reason. And it's warmer to wear thick tights during winter than jeans, sometimes. I think the short and more universal answer is that everyone's aesthetic and their expression of themselves changes many times throughout their lives. For me personally, it was a combination of things. None of the women in my family seemed to be into feminine stuff, so I basically never learned it. I didn't have friends who were particularly femme either, and the girls I saw who were, well, I felt like they were just imitating what they saw on TV or something. But the truth is I was grappling with a lot of issues dealing with my own sexuality and self-expression. When I finally realized I was gay, or at least heavily lesbian-leaning pansexual, I began to unravel that being a tomboy was just coping mechanism for me. I was repressing who I really wanted to be. When that opened up, I began to sort out what I was attracted to versus what I wanted to be, the classic gay do I want to be with her, or do I want to be her? Dilemma. I always had short hair before. I never wore makeup. I was a t-shirt and shorts/jeans kind of girl. And not the flattering kind, that I actually find really attractive when other women wear it. Yeah, I realized I really liked presenting a lot more femme, and I've really leaned into it. The downside is, that I get a lot more unwanted male attention now than I used to. But, I was just talking about this with my wife the other day, when I was more of a tomboy, male attention actually used to really upset me on a deeper level. Now, when it happens it's still unwanted and annoying, but my feelings are a lot more along the lines of, yeah, I get it. But no. Just no. And that's because I'm a lot more comfortable with myself these days. I like the way I look. I used to think I hate being a girl, because people keep telling me you're a girl, you need to. My kid brain interpret, is as then does that mean it is okay, if I am not a girl? That is so unfair, I'd rather not be a girl then. As I get older realized what I hate, is society's expectation of women, and people can judge me however they want, but those who gets stuck in the old ways on what a woman is supposed to be, nurturing, kind, quiet, polite etc., and demonize women who don't know it act like that is not someone I would respect anyway. Just because those limp said I cannot be a hacker, or learn martial arts, because of my gender does not mean it is actually not possible. They're just fragile little ball of insecurity and I jaff about their opinion. Now I dress however I want, and I love dresses, because it is actually very practical, you just slip it on, and look like you actually give a about your appearance. I still wear jeans when it is cold, but I prefer skirts, because I like to spread my legs and run around. Pants usually have rougher material and they don't feel good, when they keep rubbing your knees. Plus living in a hot climate means I want all the airflow I could get. This is it. I was not rejecting femininity, I was rejecting what society told me femininity was. I still hate what society tells me femininity is, but I have learned to make it my own now, and I love it. I went from a blatant refusal to wear a dress/pink clothes most of my childhood and all of my teen years to graduating at the top of my masters in mathematics in a frilly pink dress. After 3 years of relentless sexism in my degree, it brought me so much joy to wipe the floor with those losers while looking like a princess. Special thanks to Elwoods for paving the way. Girls from very little age learn being stereotypically girly is somewhat looked down upon, so some start rejecting dresses, everything pink and so on, age 6 to 8. They recognize positive reinforcement when they start acting different, therefore so many of us try to be the other cool girl, not like the others. I believe it is called the PFD, pink frilly dress, to tomboy phenomenon. As you grow up and see strong feminine role models, you unlearn some of these behaviors and pick and choose what you like. This thing. Girls can't well. I can. So what does that mean? Exactly this. Girls play with Barbies and dollars. Girls like pink not blue. Girls are quiet and demure. Girls don't do math and science. Girls want to be mommies. Girls don't get dirty or play outside. Girls wear dresses and makeup. Well, I rejected what girls do, and refused to wear dresses, until I was an adult, when I realized I like the feel of a skirt swishing around my legs and what I actually hate is the patriarchy. Love this. Relate so much to not wanting to be a girl, when I was younger. Societal pressures made me hate being a girl, but then my family automatically started assuming I was trans. Sigh. Can't a child just be? I'm also this person. I was dressing in a very mask way right up until I was 25 or so. Not that I have anything against dressing that way, and I still wear my basketball shorts around the house occasionally, but I like dressing up. Heels and dresses and hippie skirts and big earrings make me feel pretty, and that feels good. I'm still a hard no on makeup though. I realized that I had a lot of internalized misogyny. Once I worked through that, the change happened gradually on its own. I realized that I was like the other girls and that there is nothing wrong with that. I'm glad you learned new self-love. Happy to hear that your mind is healing from that toxicity. Same here, glad you worked through it. I'm currently working on my dislike of the color pink for the same reason. I did it because I realized I could stop being bullied if I was more feminine. It came with me realizing I was a lesbian. I did not want the people who said I did not try with my appearance because I was a lesbian to be right, so I started wearing skirts and dresses and goth clothes. Then I realized I hated that more and became a proud flannel wearing crew cut butch dyke. But I am glad I tried because now I know I really cannot do it and be happy. I'm glad you found your style. Every woman is deserving of feeling good however we choose to dress. My mom wanted me to be a girly girl but I'm not. I had to wear skirts a few times, but she was okay with pantsuits and made, with her label in them. She was a seamstress in the 50s, 60s, some of my favorite outfits growing up, and I wish I'd kept them. I dress like my avatar, and I'm comfortable with it. I match my shoes and button downs when I can. I'm a slob at home though. I've always been this way, since I was old enough to decide what I wanted to wear, and realized I like blazers and button-downs more than shirts and ball caps. I found some pics of me from when I was a teenager. Same sense of style back then, and my parents allowed me to express myself with my clothes. Literally the one thing my mother was cool about. I tend to buy one in every color of something I like, in order to have color options. I've got 8 different colors of one style/brand button down BC. I love how it fits. Flannel is one of the best things in the world. Except for flannel sheets. Too hot DN. Oh man, I was majorly tomboy as a kid, and in middle school people started calling me a lesbian. I started wearing dresses and stuff in high school. Turns out, I actually am a lesbian lol. Experimented with a more masculine presentation in college, because I was frustrated with everyone thinking I was straight. What a reversal from middle school. But realized I really just like having long hair and lipstick. I liked reading your comment, because it was cool we had kind of parallel experiences with different ultimate outcomes. I am glad you found out how to be yourself happily. My mother was emotionally abusive when I was a child, and made it very clear that she wanted a child who was the exact copy of her. Very feminine, very traditional gender roles, shared all her interests etc. She treated me very differently than my 3 brothers, and had very different expectations for me. I did not know how to cope with this, and rejected absolutely everything she wanted, meaning anything even remotely feminine. Dressing very masculine. Chopping off my long hair to a pixie cut, refusing to wear makeup, rejecting any no hobbies and interests like dancing, all brought me comfort and feelings of safety when nothing else did. Anything feminine felt like my mother, which felt unsafe. When I was able to move away and go to university at 18, I was able to become more of my own person. I started trying to figure out whether I was a tomboy because that was who I actually was, or if I was a tomboy because it was a usafo. It took several years, but I actually now realize I'm more comfortable presenting as very feminine. I love dresses and my long hair. I have interests I would have ridiculed and hated when I was younger, and I finally feel me. Now that I am no longer forced to be like that by an abusive parent, it is my choice. I still do not know how to do makeup very well though. Are you me? Minus your mother wanting a carbon copy of herself, my own abusive mother decided that she would be a slob while trying to make me the only daughter, her little doll. I also felt like feminine things were unsafe in a way, because it reminded me of my mother's expectations. I wouldn't dare dress cutely, or in pink/purple clothes, because then my mother would see it as progressive, in her eyes, and try to push more onto me. so I just didn't even want to be feminine at all. That was until I was free from her and could dress how I actually wanted to, and without judgment. I love skirts. I love dresses with lace and delicate stitching. I just hated how it was forced upon me as a child when I didn't want to wear feminine clothes back then. Now that it's up to me, I have every option available. I wanted to be seen as attractive. The only reason I was more tomboy was because I was too insecure to wear makeup or the clothes I wanted to, because I did not want to be seen as trying too hard. Now I just don't care. Another main reason was because I wanted to be seen as equal to the boys, and feminine was seen as weak or submissive, which I am not, but now I love only feminine clothes and wearing makeup. I was doing a lot of man sport like wrestling, VTT, etc. For me, a boy was stronger than a girl, so I wanted to be one. Then I did a formation as a lumberjack, and I had my dose of tomboy. So the weekend I dressed with dress, skirt, a good makeup, and the week I was in the woods, cutting trees, dirty. Right now I'm very feminine, but when winter is coming my tomboy side come back sometimes. It's more comfortable when it's cold outside. I like to have the power to change my identity and choose the way people will see me in the streets. Edit, and the fact that I lived in a religious family and the woman's role is more to make kid and stay home. I didn't want that, and for me the only solution was to be a boy at the time. I just sort of grew out of it, mostly. From about 12 to 16 I was really big on wearing boys' clothes and cutting my hair short. I think part of it was because of what was in style at the time. The whole skater look was really big, and I remember being 13 and so chuffed about my super cool no uniform day outfit sourced entirely from a boys' store. I thought I was so cool rocking my skater jeans, a webbed belt and a big hoodie. Part of it was that I was overweight and struggled to figure out how to dress comfortably for my body. Baggy boys clothes seemed like an easier option at a time where girls were rocking super low-rise jeans, etc. The other part of it was that desire to be one of the guys. I never went full not like other girls, but I liked that dressing so masculine made me stand out. I think a lot of my school years were marked by this desperation to be part of the popular crowd, which I never really achieved. Part of the novelty wore off after some harsh comments from boys in my class, which made it clear that I wasn't pulling off effortless cool tomboy so much as that fat annoying girl who kind of dresses like a boy. Skate clothes went out of style and emo came in, and over that period I transitioned out of super masculine clothes. I never went fully emo or anything, but ended my high school years gravitating toward black clothes in an attempt to give myself a sort of poor rocker edge. https://i.imgur.com/jesswatch. JPEG. I'm very ashamed to say I owned a lot of fedoras. I would now, at 32, describe my style as aggressively feminine. My wardrobe is legitimately all floral dresses and skirts. https://i.imgur.com/khxldfk. JPEG. And I've grown my hair out down past my waist. I think the biggest reason for the change was finding a style that worked for my body type and then just leaning into it in my early 20s. I had spent my teens avoiding dresses because I'd thought that dresses were tight-fitting by their nature. I ended up buying a top that had a Babital style to it, and I wore the out of it because I felt like I'd found the secret to covering my ever-present tummy. And then I started looking for other things in that style, and then bam, fit and flare dresses, my holy grail. They gradually filled my wardrobe till I got to a point where I was like, you pants. I hate your muffin top, and I hate your unavoidable chub-rub thigh wear, and I hate your stupid hems that get wet in winter. The no pants life is amazing, and I'm never going back. Guys' dresses and tights are so much more comfortable. Up until I bought a floral jumpsuit a few years back, I had some friends who had legitimately never seen me wear pants. Outside of my style, my interests had never been super masculine, and my transition from tomboy to ultra femme was pretty gradual, so I didn't really have any sort of internal struggle about what that change meant for my core identity. I think I'm more me now, though. Like, I just really can love floral patterns. https://I imga.com/3D736 UV JPG and rose gold. Guys, you are lovely. Tell me now where you shop. I have had a hard time fitting my body as well, but y'all have inspired me. The Chris Evans cardboard cutout £D. I need to know the story behind that. I started wearing men's clothes due to sexual trauma. I had always been a bit tomboyish, but decided I no longer wanted to be perceived as a woman, or target on the street. I did not care about pronouns, I just did not want to look like a girl. It did help, and the frequency of my issues lowered drastically. I moved to a country that is incredibly safe, and a very safe city. This, coupled with moving somewhere so different from where my traumas took place, allowed me to play with the power and fun that can come with dressing as a woman. For me, I still feel the concept of woman is nothing more than an aesthetic one. As I dress feminine now, it feels like drag. But drag is fun. It is fun to be a lol. I heavily relate to all of this three. If you don't mind, what location is this that's incredibly safe? You've been visited by the ghost of a very important man. Pay your respects by liking and subscribing, and he'll grant you 3 weeks of good luck.